Should you watch Mushoku Tensei? Well, so far I can think of 2 reasons. Another 2 reasons? Oh, well, maybe another 2 reasons. Wait, hold on. Oh shit. Wait, no, I didn't. No, please. No, I'm sorry. You ever get bullied so bad in high school you seclude yourself in your room and then become such a loser that eventually your family gets pissed off and kicks you out, but then you see a girl about to get hit by a truck, so you run out to save her, and then you end up as a baby in a fantasy like Robo Swords and Magic and shit? Yeah, me neither, I fucking wish. Meet Rudy's Grey Rat. You're run-of-the-mill NEET who gets a second lease on life after being reincarnated and promptly checks out his mom's rack. Yeah, so pretty quickly it's easy to understand why a lot of people get turned off by this show. Our protagonist is not necessarily a great guy. In fact, he's probably one of the most flawed characters to come in an anime for a while. But this is actually the show's worst and best quality, which I'll get into in a minute. For now, let's talk about the plot. One of my biggest gripes with a lot of movies and shows nowadays is just how convoluted the plots can get. Think Eternals or Multiverse of Madness or Thor or damn, Marvel just need to get shit together. But my point is, you don't need time travel or multiverses to give your viewer a good experience. The best stories are those which write complex characters and let the story follow suit. My favorite episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is entitled The Box, where the premise is Jake and Captain Holt have 24 hours to get the dentist to confess to a murder. Everything in this episode is all contained to what happens in the interrogation room. 3 characters just talking. This is an example of good writing. You don't need a complex plot, subplots, side characters, twists and turns. All you need is fully fleshed out characters who are believable as those characters.
You're in the Pine Barrens and it hits you. Your uncle's cabin. He has a place there. You're the luckiest son of a...
It wasn't luck.
Yes, it was. You got lucky at every turn.
No, I knew exactly where I was driving. I left my phone in the office on purpose. I was in a surgical suite by design, and I didn't use some glass award that any idiot would clearly see was missing. I made a rod out of a special dental polymer, killed him with it, then melted it back down. It's already in a patient's mouth, son! Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn!
And I can say watching Mushoku Tensei, I never got the feeling that I was just watching a bunch of typical anime character archetypes, even though on the outside they do kind of look like it. Take Eris for example, right? She is our main love interest and your typical red-headed tsundere. But wait, what's this? She actually contributes to the plot and isn't completely fucking useless and is instead kind of a badass? Huh? What? Wait. In this show, the plot follows the characters. There is no overarching narrative, a demon lord to kill, a big bad to defeat. The story is very open-ended and often has to do with developing the characters in some way. And because of this, you don't really know where the show's gonna go next, which is honestly a refreshing change of pace from the norm. The entire plot of episode 2 is basically Rudy is overcoming his fear of going outside his house. This is what I love about the show. Our main character, despite having come to a fantasy world of swords and magic, is still that same depressed dude on the inside, and throughout the show actually has to work on overcoming his shortcomings. Unlike every other isekai protagonist who comes to another world, it's just like, man, this is fucking dope, I'm staying. I will admit the pacing can be slow at times, but I like to think it's this slow pace which allows for what feels like an organic growth of our main character. Like I said before, Rudy's is not exactly a great guy, and I won't even try to defend some of his behaviors because I'm not a fan of digging myself out of holes. But it is so hard not to get wrapped up in the drama of the show when you see him struggling, but doing his best regardless. The full title of the show roughly translates to Jobless Reincarnation, Trying My Best in Another World. And he is doing just that, trying his best. Rudius is constantly taking L's throughout the series. I mean, bro gets bodied all the time. He's not one of those protagonists who gets an SSS rank cheat skill or anything crazy like that. The main thing he has going for him is that he is such a large man of bull since he's been trading since he was young. But even with that, the guy gets shit on like all the time. Like,
sword.
You should break up!
With how much work goes into our protagonist, it's impossible not to eventually root for him. It's those same flaws of his which make him relatable and incredibly grounded as a character, along with the rest of the cast. Every character, even the side ones, have clear motivations. For example, Paul, Rudy's his father, is really horny, and I can respect that. Nah, but for real, coupled with how beautifully drawn each episode and action scene is, the show has the ability to suck you into its world, and that's more than I can say for a lot of shows coming out nowadays. It's often crowned as the godfather of isekai, being one of the first to bring the genre into the spotlight with its light novel coming out in 2012, but I have yet to see or read an isekai which does world building and character development better than this. If you haven't caught on by now, I really like this show. Like, a lot. Despite its flaws, I thoroughly enjoyed watching and rewatching each episode making this video. If you're not okay with watching a piece of fiction which has a character many of whom's actions you don't condone in real life, that's totally fine. I understand if you don't want to watch this show. You are entitled to your own views and opinions. Fucking normie, get the fuck off my channel, I sort of. Otherwise, if any of the things I said so far has resonated with you, should you watch Mushoku Tensei? Yes. Yes, you should. Thank you for watching and sticking around until the end. This is my first proper YouTube video if you don't count dark times. But yeah, it was pretty fun, and hopefully I'll do it again. I don't know, this one took quite a bit of time though, so we'll see. Alright, this is too long. This is too long of an end card. Yeah, bye.